we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado. This is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
You want to kick it off, or do you want me to kick it in?
I'll kick this bad boy off.
Okay.
I'll kick this one off, Kev. Welcome into Discussion Combustion, episode 201. That's right, we are cresting and we are staying consistent. We are brought to you by Loco Plus. This is your local creation company, your platform where you can check out people from Atlanta. You can check out people from all around the United States. It's a local creation platform.
That's right, Art. And these guys are branched out to different cities. Local content creation is the name of the game. Get your product out there, get it known, and local creators support each other. It's a fantastic organization. We really just want to reach out and say thank you to everybody that came to the live event for the Loco Plus Showcase event. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that was so much fun being a part of that and helping host for Loco Plus at X Denver. That was March 11th. We are going to release this on the 23rd, but it's the 22nd of March right now. This has been one of the longest little hiatuses we've had from recording, and I couldn't be more happy to have Darius across the table. You're our first guest in this new studio space, man.
Oh, the absolute agony, the nervousness. What can I do to ring in the 200 series? Actually, first of all, congratulations, guys. That's really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, that's nice for you to say. It just seemed right. You know, Dar's breaking in the new studio with us. If you guys haven't checked out his content, we're going to encourage you to do so and include a lot of that in the show notes down below. But different vibes in here, man. You're helping breaking us in with the couches a little bit, having a couple cold Bud Lights with us. Thank you, Bud Light. Today's episode is also brought to you by Anheuser-Busch Bud Light. So grab yourself a cold one and enjoy.
Cheers.
So here we go, into the 200 series, Dar.
You know, it's kind of weird, guys. Like, I read this paper a while ago about measuring your life in terms of winters you've spent, right? Which is just years you've lived, right? Just how many years you've spent. Yeah. And kind of the perception of like, okay, well, that's just, if you want to spend your time measuring year by year, day by day, whatever, so on and so forth. But then it breaks down into, what if you measured it by different things? Like, measured it by the times you saw your parents last, right? Because that starts with every day. And of course, measured it over the time of your entire life, right? Just say you live to be 100, you have 100 winters. All right. Now, what if those 100 years were measured how many times you saw your parents? All that's going to be in the first segment of your life, and as you get older, you're going to see them less and less, right? Point. Millennia might pass, no, obviously not, but like, maybe a decade passes since you see them next. And the reason I bring it up is I was like, I believe last time I was here, I was on episode 131.
Wow.
Right? Something like that. It was either 128, somewhere in the 130s.
Kev, you're usually the person I lean on for...
I think I'm going to go with the 131.
I think that's right.
Yep.
Okay.
And now it's episode 201. And so we have 70 episodes since I've last been here. And it's crazy to think that that's all in, like, wow, 70 episodes worth of time has last spent. There's a lot of stuff. When you put it like that, I was thinking about it on the way over here. Man, there's a lot of stuff that's happened since we last sat down to talk.
There is.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
There is, yeah, because you were in our old studio. So
right.
The viewers remember if you tuned into Dar's episode with us a while ago, which was a great ep, by the way. And I think that was one of the final ones that we did before we moved in the same building to our new setup, which you had a chance to visit.
Yeah.
But here we are, man, kicking this thing off new. We're at the Pavilion Towers out here in Aurora, Colorado.
Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to break this thing in. We got Dar energy tonight.
Right. There's a lot of, and there's just like, man, there's so much that has happened. We've gone to a new studio. You guys performed in front of a live audience, both just podcasted and, I don't know if you sung too. If you didn't, you should.
I didn't. Look, the only one that could sing out of the two of us would be Kevin. I could do some freestyling up there. Like, I'll be able to rap it out, but...
Break out the old melodica, that whole little thing.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, I didn't do
any
any
singing. There will be more.
Yeah, I think if we do something like that again for the folks that either watched it on Loco Plus or YouTube or were attending it live action, I think maybe next time that would be kind of fun to break out the guitar and maybe do some fun with that, do a little singing, Who knows? Maybe we'll have Dar on the next showcase event.
Oh, God. I can't sing worth a damn, but it would be... I always think about it. I make stupid songs and dumb rhyming lyrics, but if it's like, oh, yeah, you should put that on the radio, it's like, no, absolutely not. You stay far away from me. But... it would be fun to go
You've been busy too, though, man. Like, seeing the rockets fly. I mean, look, we don't need to know the exact number, but like, what is your annual travel budget? Because you seem to get up and get out, man.
That's a very specific question.
Okay, well, no, but it's a fair question.
You could even say like a good amount.
Well,
like,
okay, so I'll give you here. You want to guess it? Just ballpark. Give you just 3 guesses. You know,
your travel.
My travel budget.
Dar's annual travel budget
is this
20 grand.
Is this airfare, food,
Minimum.
hotels?
Now, hold on. Are we talking like business supplied or myself? Like I do.
That's a good.
Because
that's a good
I wasn't
question.
sure if you were, because I'll answer both. It's fine.
I'm thinking it's your personal is like 20 grand.
Oh fuck! All right, well you got me on that one because that one is. I was leading up to the joke. I was trying to bait you to say any kind of number, and I was gonna say it's 0. My company doesn't pay for any of my travel because there's no travel that I do for my company.
Yeah.
Even the rocket
Wait,
launch.
why'd you try to do us like that?
I don't know. Look, it's been 70 episodes. I've grown cynical, evil. I'm not as free spirited as the last time I came on here, and that's my fault. There's a lot of
the dark arts will call.
The dark arts will call. My heart
do.
is filled with dust and sand, and I gotta,
buddy.
I know it's been rough, right?
Wow.
Hasn't. My life's been fine, but
No, but I mean that's okay if it hasn't been.
you're just upset that I betrayed you like that. That's really where this is coming from.
No, I'm not upset, but I think it's fun that you called it out and that I didn't intuitively. I was like, no, just personally.
Well, no, it's like. Oh, man, I don't know what I spend on that. I'd say it depends on the year. No, not at all.
No?
But I get away with a lot. So, for example, like when I go to Iceland, I have family there. I speak the language and stuff. I stay with family a lot of the time. So that's a big cut. I don't have to pay for any hotels or hostels or, any range. Hostels to hotels, doesn't matter. Free 90 free for me. I free 90 free lodge.
So you're essentially just paying airfare.
Airfare? Well, no. I mean airfare.
Food.
I pay for food. I take my family out and stuff. Obviously, last time I was there, I went on a huge road trip, and I had to buy beer there too. Which if you are an avid beer drinker, don't go to Iceland.
Yeah.
They got great beer, and they even got a distiller out there. It's good stuff, but the prices are
Astronomical.
disappointingly high.
Really?
I'd say about 50% higher. Yeah.
Do they
Really?
do they have like Bud Light out there?
They do, absolutely.
So
But it's
you're
50%
paying
higher.
You're
Yeah,
paying
'Cause
like
it's an import.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. That's imported American right there.
That's America.
Huh.
That's full set America. Not for nothing nation.
But I was talking to my cousin about this when we were visiting a liquor store, and all the liquor stores there are state owned.
Yeah.
Similar to like what was it, Virginia, or like half the nations or half the states in this country.
Okay.
So they're all state owned or government owned, but we found a bottle of Reykja, just Icelandic vodka.
Oh yeah.
Very delicious. I like it. I should have brought you guys some. My bad, fam.
No, you're
But,
good, man.
Yeah, well, we probably don't want to get into vodka. Things go off the rails.
I know,
real quick,
right?
Bart.
Oh my God, discussion implosion.
Discussion intoxication.
Let's have this intoxication.
Let's have this.
Yeah, the hard alcohol. I think can go real sideways real quick. But Icelandic vodka is delicious.
It's very good, and you can find it at most, not at every liquor store, but usually at most of the big guys. Most of the big wholesalers, you'll find it there.
Yeah.
No problem. But I was laughing about the fact that a 750 there is about $55.
Really?
For 750.
And that's for $750. And
Wow.
here you can find it, if it's on sale, you can usually find it for like anywhere between $25 before tax, something like $25,
Yeah.
$26. It's crazy. And so, I mean, it's fine. You bite the bullet either way, but
I mean, look, when you're out and about, it's fun to have
yeah.
a little bit of love in the system.
I think
a
it's
little bit of
important.
that fuzzy feeling in the system.
My number one rule is that I really try to not. I care about what I spend. I try not to like waste money.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm traveling, I don't have like a ton of money budgeted, so on and so forth. But I make sure that I can be in that situation where I can have at least, I call them money shotgun shells. Mm-hmm. So if there's a problem, and I do this at home sometimes too. Like I keep a few shells loaded just in case you have that
course.
situation, right? I mean, that's just good.
That's
just good
just
spending.
being prepared.
You gotta have
That's
some ammo
right.
in the
Yeah,
chamber.
being a proper
Exactly.
American.
Because
That's America.
Exactly, because there are
Proper.
situations
We should go shooting sometime, Dar.
Absolutely, I would love to go shooting
You've
again.
been on a DCPC
Yeah.
gone shooting with us.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun, man.
My
Sorry, like you start talking guns, I'll like sidetrack there. I know you're on something else, but
no,
like,
it's fine. I want to point out,
know.
well, before we leave that that point, I have a 100% accuracy record with ARs right now.
Oh, what
Ooh,
a solid.
Absolutely, 100%.
Now, do you own an AR?
What do you
No,
mean?
I
How many
don't.
times have you shot an AR?
Once, but I had a bullseye.
And you
that's
shot
literally it.
once.
Yep.
You pulled- you shot one time.
My friend,
Shot?
we went to the grasslands in I've only gone to shooting a handful of times. I love going skeet shooting. I'd like to, my personal goal, I'd love to get a Benelli, a nice Benelli shotgun.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of the inertial loaded shotguns. I think they're cool, semi-auto. But like, my friend had just an AR-15, and he had a scope on it, and we just went out to the way northern Colorado, the grasslands where it's legal to shoot and such, and we set up a metal ping target, and he dialed the scope. I forgot how far we were out.
He had to
Wasn't
have done it
insane.
at 100.
Something like 100. It was like, it wasn't anything crazy. Like
50 or 100.
I wanna say-
I guarantee you is one of those two.
Probably
Yeah.
50 or 100.
Yeah.
And so again, my lack of gun knowledge coming out here, but
Yeah.
he dialed in the scope and said it's leaning a little right, but here you go and give it a shot. And I was like, cool. And I went and I shot and just bang, ka-ting! I was like, hey, all
that's a
right,
satisfying
we hit
feeling.
it. Oh, it was amazing. And then right after that, we got interrupted by some hikers. I should really call them trespassers. They were off trail, and so they were over the ridge where we were again legally shooting in the grasslands, and they were all concerned. And like we're like, oh, we sorted it all out, but
Yeah.
at the end it was more like, you shouldn't have been out there. That was dumb of you.
Yeah, you're kind of in the wrong area.
I mean, who wants to be, intruding on that situation when you
Yeah.
have rounds flying across 100 yards?
Right,
That's
right.
that's a risky scenario.
And so we anyhow we sorted it all out and it was fine. But after that, it was getting kind of late and we packed it up and headed out. So it's just a running joke I make is like, yeah.
you
So
have
technically
100%.
speaking, I'm 1 for 1, baby. Oh yeah,
So you only pulled it once.
just once.
That was it.
That was it. That's all I got.
You didn't have the urge to like wham it?
Full send.
Well, we're going to see how accurate you are at 20 rounds when we take you to the shootist.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. And since we're on the topic, I got to at least bring it up just once. When I went out with Alec Hinkleman, which is somebody who's been on the podcast.
Alec Hinkleman's a solid lad.
He's a veteran. He
Yep.
owns a gun shop. Awesome dude. And we went out there, and he taught me how to actually properly shoot a pistol. And he let me fail a lot before he actually taught me, right? And so once he got me dialed in, and I know, Kevin, you know where this is going, but I hit 100 yards 3 times out of like 32 rounds. Sure, that's a good amount of rounds, but they were all hitting right around the 100-yard target. And when you're shooting a handgun at 100 yards that far away, if you are one-eyeing it, then the front like reticle, the aim on the front,
the front sight, yeah.
yeah, the front sight completely covers the target. Like, you can't even see it. So you have to have both eyes open
Nice.
in order to see like where the round is actually hitting, right?
Okay.
And yeah, to hit that at 3 yards was with the Glock Generation 5. It was the Glock 45 Generation 5 9mm, and that thing hit 100 yards and was like right in that area the entire time. Like, that was fun. That was so much fun hitting a target 100 yards with a handgun.
That's pretty impressive.
It was
impressive.
dope. It was dope.
I've never done that.
I can't do that at all. I went one time target shooting with my roommate who's ex-military, and he took me out for my birthday a while ago, and we just shot his. I don't even know what to call it. This is a Glock that shot 45s. So
Okay.
just a Glock 45. Is that what I call it?
I mean,
So what's interesting?
Yeah.
What's interesting about Glock is the way they modeled their pistols. So like, there's a Glock Model 22, which is a 40 cal,
Yeah, the
okay.
names are really
and then
stupid.
you have a Glock Model 45, which is a 9mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So yeah, it was 9mm bullets, and so just had a big kabloom to it. But I sucked at close range. It took me a couple times learning how to squeeze it just right, because the first time I just barely peppered the target, just hitting him in the dick and balls for the most part.
Yeah.
Which is not. I mean, I guess that's good, but not really how I want to. if I ever have to defend myself, that's just a bad place to shoot someone.
I'll show
gonna
you
go
the
down.
ones and twos.
Yeah, that's true. They'll go down.
They're not
but-
going to keep coming at you. I don't care where you hit them.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep coming at you.
That's true.
As long as you can get the target neutralized, you're good to go. But I like to
True.
use the term peppered. That tells me you're kind of a skeet shooter kind of guy.
Yeah, I skeet shooting is my favorite. I've gone a couple times. I forgot what the range was called. It's down south from Parker.
Okay.
Oh,
And
in
so,
Parker?
yeah, it's an outdoor range.
It's in Parker?
Yeah, it's like close. It's definitely like Parker, not quite like Elizabeth. It's just down south.
Yeah, like,
past
is that not the one
past
that
the
you went
southeast.
to?
No.
It's kind of by a country club. I
Oh,
don't
wait a minute. No, because it's not the Franktown shooting range. Because that's an indoor range. You're talking
Right.
outdoor.
It's outdoors.
Maybe they have an outdoor section.
Well, but they don't.
No.
Not at Franktown.
No?
It's Elizabeth does. It's like
I think
it's got
Might be maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was Elizabeth then.
yeah. There is a range out there that does skeet.
Either way, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Went out just like that, and that's the first. I remember the first time I went out there, I hit just like 52%. Or it wasn't anything amazing, but it was just a lot of fun. And then I went again, hit 60, and I'm just like, this is cool, nice recreational, fun. Got me in the mood. It was like getting a nice semi-automatic, even though I still only get 2 shots, but it'd be kind of
Boom.
It's still fun though. I mean, skeet takes a little bit of there's a finesse to it.
Yeah.
I've never been. I mean, I love 12 gauge shotguns. They're a lot of fun. But every time I shot skeet, I miss almost every time. It's just
Really?
it's not my wheelhouse.
It feels like it should be easy to point and aim, and then it's like the first few times it was a little bit. I mean, it's just you have to learn somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is weird to just point up, shoot, and then to see that disc just harmlessly continue to fly away into the abyss.
It's a sad feeling.
is.
It is,
You're
yeah.
like, damn it.
You're kind of like,
damn it.
I suck. I thought I'd be way better at this.
Oh yeah. The last time I went, I mean, you guys know I love my guns. I do shooting. I'm not the most. I mean, I'm pretty accurate with my 9mm and my AR-15, which I would be happy for you to do some shooting on. But
For sure.
I did,
So much fun.
I did some. Oh, it's a great AR. I fucking love that thing.
That thing is pretty dialed.
it's
I mean,
badass.
on the iron sights too, of all things.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't have
pretty
optics.
Nice.
It's iron sights.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we can hit 100. with
Holy
it.
crap.
But so last time I did skeet, I was out there with this guy that was really, really buttoned up. Like he knew what was going on. I was fucking missing left and right, and he was cleaning it up. Like when he saw me miss, he was like, "Bam!" and he would take it. He's like, "You fucking suck."
Oh,
The
he was like
cleaner.
he was
Yeah.
standing right next to you, just like
Yeah.
just ready to shoot it off like
Cleaned
that.
it up, and I was like, "Man, this is just not my wheelhouse."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, still. That's
Shooting's
a
fun.
little bit of
What
sun.
were we talking about before? Like I railed that into shooting.
Yeah, and then
like do we even remember?
I mean, this is discussion combustion.
I
right?
mean, what
That's
were
true.
we talking
We
about?
combusted. Let me think.
How much has changed over 70 episodes?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
solid lad.
Traveling,
How Dars-
travel budget.
Travel budget.
That's what
that
it
was an SLM,
Iceland.
solid lad memory.
I have a pretty good memory. I remember weird shit.
Right.
No,
See,
but
now I remember.
it
Then
has been busy.
liquor store, Iceland,
Iceland
Iceland liquor
Icelandic
stores,
vodka.
vodka.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I don't know where I was
I'm
going with
compromised today, just so everybody knows. I've been compromised.
that. Everyone.
We've been busy.
The funny thing is that nobody really drinks. There is like Anheuser-Busch available in Iceland.
Yeah.
But everyone just drinks like the native stuff. Vik is a good one.
Is it-
VIK?
Do they make their
I mean,
like
it's-
own lagers and stuff
Yep,
too? Like,
absolutely.
Because I'm just a lager guy. Like I can't
don't like
drink the
fancy shit.
IPAs
Yeah.
and stuff. Like it's
not my
too
thing.
much alcohol content.
It's funny because like I didn't actually think about this till right now, but Iceland is a fantastic place to have a brewery or distillery. And the reason is that you are in a country that has virtually infinite water. Because while they're on an island, they have infinite just groundwater. It's a humongous
Really?
amount of geothermal activity. A lot of their city, I think, I don't know what it is right now, but this is outdated. But I believe it's about 30% of their power is geothermally powered. So just
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
it's a huge volcanic island.
Yeah.
And so you have the potential to tap into a lot of that geothermal energy to just freely power turbines with hot water, dump that hot water into a reservoir, which people go and bathe in. That's literally their top tourist attraction. It's called the Blue Lagoon.
I
everyone
mean,
goes there.
who wouldn't want to put on a bathing suit at the Blue Lagoon?
Yeah.
I mean, does that not sound enticing?
Oh, well, I mean, I like you called it a bathing suit.
Yeah, it is, but it's like you have to
A
you have to put 'em-
swimsuit? You fucker.
You're gonna tune in to Happy Friday tomorrow to get that joke.
This guy's an asshole.
I am, but
But like that is literally one of their top visited tourist attraction. It's called the Blue Lagoon. Anyone in Iceland will tell you, oh yeah, let's go to the Blue Lagoon. And it's called that because of the blue, the blue or the minerals in the water discharge from, again, a power plant. Just has a lot of minerals in it, and it gives it this blue hue.
Oh,
so, you can go
so
in
it's
and
not
swim
natural. It's not natural.
No,
The blue is not natural.
The blue is natural. It's from the discharge of the power plant. That's from the earth. It's not like they add blue dye in the power plant.
But did the blue exist before the power plant?
Yes. You can find that all over the place.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, just like at Yellowstone, you get this amazing rainbow of yellows, browns, and some blues too. Yeah. It's just a natural mineral. I'm not a geologist. I don't actually know the name of it, if it's a salt, if it's a mineral, what. But like this is a natural occurring color that you get. That's just a hue in the water. At most springs, right?
And it's very vivid. Like it's like a deep blue.
Amazing, yeah. It's just a deep blue to anything, even like a deep teal. Like you're just looking at the sky. It's beautiful. It's oh god, I love that country so much. I'm lucky to have family there too.
That is terrific. I think we touched on it last time you were on too about your family over there and maybe speaking some of the language and stuff. And I think when I think of Iceland, I don't know much about it, right? But I know that they have like some of the cuisine over there is unique, like some of the like the pickled herring and stuff like that. That's kind of native to those parts.
Yeah. So there's a few. The big ones that ironically, the big ones that I haven't tried, that are very popular are puffin, native bird of Iceland.
Isn't that kind of like a penguin?
It's a penguin, yeah.
Well, it flies, but it looks like it has the same.
They do fly.
They do fly. Yeah,
I did not know.
They're not that big, but like
interesting.
They
weren't the puffins also in the Star Wars movies? Like they couldn't they couldn't
the
get
new ones. I don't even remember.
so they couldn't get rid of the puffins, so they actually created a CGI creature.
I hope that is true.
That they overlaid the puffins.
I don't have the answer.
I really don't. No, I have no idea.
Because there's so many puffins on these islands where Luke Skywalker was. Okay.
I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that was shot in Iceland. He's like, you're talking. This is at the end of the. This is like at the end of the
episodes
8, like the new movies, right? The
7.
new trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah. The Force Awakens.
Right. So he's like sitting there on the island, and the movie ends with him just there, like, oh shit, guess it's time for me to act again.
Yeah.
Be on it.
Good old Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to that.
Well, either way, if there is, that's amazing. But they are.
So I haven't eaten a puffin too.
Yeah, neither.
Wait a minute though. There's a cereal though that's called puffins, and it has the animal on it.
Really?
It's like an organic cereal.
Huh. I think is that the same one that does the orangutan oats and like.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
They just got this whole animal theme going for them right now.
I think it's like a natural thing.
That somehow leads to conservation.
That's good. That's good.
I don't think puffins are overfished or overhunted.
Overbirded.
Can you hunt puffins?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. How do you hunt birds? Do you bird them?
Well, you bird shot them, right, with the old 12 gauge.
I mean, not puffins. You use a net usually.
Guys, the hunt for puffins.
Well, for birds
is always
in general, right? Like if you're quail hunting or something.
Yeah. Not for.
You got to use a net.
I've seen it like traditionally. You use like a net and you just kind of cast it out and you just get a couple, or you use a big
Interesting.
net. Obviously, there's a lot. They're all like, where are they going to go? They're on an island,
right?
And so. A lot of them are just off a cliffside, so you can kind of cast like a large net almost and get a few. At least this is how the commercial birders do it now.
The birders,
the commercial birders, if you will.
I feel like that's proper. I feel like that's proper. You could say birders.
Anyways, they're used in like some stews mostly. I can't wait for my family to tear me to shreds on this. I know they're gonna see this and be like, "That is so wrong." No, I know like a big one is like stews that they use the puffin for.
That's kind of like turtles too. I feel like turtles are most commonly eaten in like stews and soups and whatnot. You don't just eat turtle meat. So I feel like puffins might be in that same category. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. If not, they're gonna see this and they're probably gonna Snapchat my face doing this right now and send it to me. Straight up. Anyways, that's my cousin's name. So. The other one is cured or what is it? Cured shark, or not pickled, but it's like cured shark meat.
Okay.
So shark meat has a lot of ammonia in it. You can't eat it raw. You will get very, very sick.
Really?
So you have
of the ammonia.
Yeah. Because of the ammonia in the muscle, and so you have to cure it by sweating it out. And how this is done is basically by butchering the shark, taking the meat, and then you just put it in almost like it looks like a drying rack. And you let it sit there for however long. I don't know if it's 6 months or something.
So it's almost like a dry age or like a dehydration?
Kind of. It's similar to like how they it's similar to how they have to like sweat out ammonia from tobacco leaves for the same reason. Otherwise, because if you take fresh tobacco leaves and roll it up, you're going to get a really nasty cigarette. And so you have to do a similar thing where you have to cure it. And so here with the with the shark, they're usually just put in a hut somewhere. Probably they're treated beforehand a little bit, but then they just sit there and they literally rot. Okay, and when that's done. And it smells disgusting. But when it's done, they pretty much cut around. Imagine like a cheese that you just leave out on the porch. It's going to grow mold and look gross, right?
And it's going to reek.
Yeah, and if you're a crazy person, you're just going to cut all the sides of the moldy cheese off and be like, look at the center. It's not moldy. It's perfectly good cheese. And technically speaking, you're not wrong. You can eat it. There's no mold.
Yeah.
Right? It's a similar thing that happens here. The sides get cut off. And at that point, it's cured, and then you can eat it, and it's still raw. And usually, this is had with, like as a delicacy, with like white wine or something. There's an episode of I don't know, Gordon Ramsay doing international shit. I forgot the actual name of it, where he tries it. He's not a fan. I've heard it's a very, very pungent, strong taste, and so I think it's one of those things you either love it or you hate it.
Interesting.
I would like to give it a try.
Yeah.
I like
me
wild
too.
Shit like that.
Me too. It's now I'm a big fan of hot dogs though.
Hot dogs?
Not just Oscar Mayer. I'm talking about Icelandic hot dogs. Pulsur, they're called Pulsur. That's the name of it. That's both the brand name.
Posted.
Pilsur.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Pilsud.
Pilsur. You got to roll the R.
Pilsud.
Pilsud.
Pilsur.
Pilsud.
Pilsur.
Pilsud.
There you go.
I got to get that roll in
Pilsud.
there.
Yeah.
Now, but is it like a traditional American hot dog, or is it
No.
different?
It's usually it's like a little thinner. All right, let's just go with like a ballpark hot dog, like a literal ballpark hot dog. All right. Instead, it's like subtract from the girthiness, and instead add on like an extra inch.
Oh wow! So it's long and thin, slides right in.
It's long and thin.
Slides right in.
Mm-hmm. Long thin slides right in. It'll usually breach the classic American bun. And the meat composition has a little bit of laminate.
Oh wow!
So it's like a little bit,
a little gamier.
It's like, I don't know if gamey is the word. It's still like, well, maybe slightly. Like the skin is a little bit tougher.
Okay.
But it has the same consistency in the inside as a hot dog. But the taste has just a twinge of sweet to it. A little like almost like smoked meat in there. It's delicious.
Look,
I
mean,
eat like
to be able to like
these.
try all the meats in life, like that's like a goal. Okay, it's like
Right.
Eat the meats.
Yeah, I want to try all the different meats. I want to try them. Like it's just interesting because where animals are, the type of animal they are, it's just there's a lot of different layers to the meats.
There is, and every culture kind of does it differently. Like the Italians, some of my favorite meats: Genoa salami, cured, dry, hard salami. There's so many different ways to go about that meat. But going back to this talk about glizzies, are you familiar with that term?
Glizzy is a hot dog.
I learned this from Brad. Yeah, what was his?
Bugs. Be Nasty.
Be Nasty Bugs taught us about glizzies because he's a hot dog aficionado.
Shout out, Brad.
And so hopefully Brad's listening to this and he maybe can speak a little bit volume to what we're talking about here, because glizzies, term I was not familiar with. I thought that referred to the Glock pistols that we talked about.
No, it's a term that has evolved over time. It did refer to firearms prior.
Okay.
And as time has continued, it has taken on more meanings.
So I guess my question
It's
would be,
called a glizzy.
So is it referred to in Iceland as a hot dog, or like do they have a different word for it?
Pilsur.
That's what it is.
That's both the brand name and what they call it.
And what it
it
is.
Yeah.
So it's its own entity, but what you're saying is it's comparable to a hot dog or a glizzy.
Well, I don't know what a glizzy. What is a glizzy?
It's a hot dog.
It's a slang term for a hot dog.
Okay, so it's just ketchup and mustard hot dog, but it's called a glizzy.
Maybe a little bit of sauerkraut.
I see.
I mean,
like-
you can
I like
make a
sauerkraut.
glizzy a bunch of ways. It's just literally you got to have the bun and the dog.
You got to put the meat in there.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying. So, like, well, no, an Icelandic glizzy, if you will, is called through and through a pilsner. Would you like a pilsner? Yeah.
Pilsner.
I want to try one.
It sounds like almost
so
like
good.
I'm about to drink a Pilsner.
There's like, and like, it goes beyond that because they have their own. They have, like, a classic pilsner is or pilsner is just the meat, the bun. Then you have ketchup. You have dried onion or fresh, whichever you prefer.
Dried onion.
Yeah, like
sounds good. Like
just like breaded
Yeah.
fried onion. Sorry, fried onion.
Yeah,
Crispy
it's
onion.
dried and fried, baby.
Now, instead of mustard, they have a couple things. They have sinep,
Wait.
which is like a spicy mustard.
No mustard.
No mustard. Instead, you got 2 sub-ins. So you have sub-in number 1, because you need them both, right? You got to do the classic, all this stuff. So we got ketchup. We got the onions.
Yes.
We got sinep, which is like a sweet, spicy mustard. And then you have remoulade, which is my personal favorite. That's like a more of like a mayo mustard chopped onion mix.
Interesting.
That goes on there as well. All right, and they just paint this sucker with these combination of condiments, and they give it to you. I'll wolf down 5 of these, no problem. Not no problem, but like I've been hungry enough to do that.
5.
I
have insatiable hunger today.
Is this helping?
I would love to have a Pilsner.
Yes.
Did I say it okay?
Yeah, good enough.
It's not like Pilsner is what I heard.
Yeah.
No, Pilsner.
And then, oh man, but that's my absolute favorite. And they got merch, and they have they have an original, just like, they have an original stand there. I mean, they have multiple places you can get this. You can get it at a grocery store, but like, it's one of those common things in Iceland where it's like you can get them at most gas stations. Oh wow. And stuff, and then
but is it like American style, like when you go to the 7-Eleven and you get a hot dog
on the roller?
Yeah, from 7-Eleven. Is it like compromised like that in Iceland, or is it better quality? I feel like it's going to be a better quality.
When we were in Iceland, when I did this road trip with my cousin, we went just 4 days along most of the northern side of the island and then all the way back. I made a point to get a hot dog at any gas station, rest stop, anything that we were at, just because, and also because they're delicious. And I was like, because I overindulge when I have the moments. Like, I don't know when the next time is I'm going to be here.
Yeah, true.
And so,
yes,
it's not bad, but it's not as good as getting it from one of the original stand. And the original stand, this is kind of an ongoing thing, is their original stand is in the heart of Reykjavik. Their property value is probably insane, but when I say their stand, I mean literally like a stand. Like, it's the size of this office.
Yeah,
it's small. And so they work with that, and it's just kind of a fun gimmick thing.
And they crank out a lot of product.
Oh yeah. Now they got merch too.
That's pretty cool, man.
That is cool.
It's fun stuff, guys.
Good old
I'll bring you
Iceland
some next time.
Yeah, I'd love to try. I love trying stuff I've never tried. I don't shy away from anything. When I first moved to Colorado back in 2007, I tried Rocky Mountain oysters. I don't know how.
Yeah,
how much
I've tried them.
What do you think?
I think they're decent. I mean,
do you do the chili sauce or you just go right in?
No, I use a.
You gotta use the sauces.
I use when I've tried them at a Dark Horse in Boulder.
Okay.
They serve it with like a horseradish sauce.
Ooh, that sounds really good, actually.
And
I love horseradish.
I like it. Yeah, you can mix in a little bit of ketchup if you want to and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's good. It feels like more of a gamier fried chicken.
I mean, yeah. We're eating bull testicles.
Yeah.
A little bit of goat, sometimes mountain goats, like longhorns and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like, that's gross. People say that about sardines. I've heard about a lot of things, but until you try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you have opportunities in life to create a more robust yourself. If you know what I'm saying. You do these things, you become a little bit more robust. And there's nothing wrong with full sending it and living life as if you're part of the Not For Nothing Nation. Okay,
I agree with that.
Not For Nothing Nation.
Yes,
but
the approximation.
Dara understands the Not For Nothing Nation.
Yes.
We'll launch that this week.
Absolutely. What was that?
The Not For Nothing Nation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's all about full sending.
No,
absolutely.
But it's about also being robust. And
Is it?
In life, there are certain opportunities that we have. Like, it's not easy to do all the travels that you do, I'm sure, and staying busy all the time. And we have to stay solidified and centered within our own mentalities, right? To be able to pursue this happiness. Even just recognizing grabbing these Icelandic hot dogs. How's it said again?
Pilsner.
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 I'm not going to get
You're
it.
regressing, actually. It's getting a little bit worse.
It's
I
getting
know.
way worse.
I can't help it. But
Here, let's try again. So
pill.
no, say it like. Let me see if I can do this. All right. I used to be a linguistic coach.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's go. Pill.
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 Let's start American.
Pill.
Pull.
Pull.
Pull. There you go.
Pull.
Think pull, but French. Pull.
Pull.
Almost.
Oh.
Pull.
Pull.
Sure. Pull. And now let's go. Sir.
Pilsner.
Did you say sir?
Pilsner.
Pilser.
Pilsner.
Pilser. There you go. And now
Pilser.
add a little zing on the end of the R. Pilser.
Pilser.
Pilsner.
Pilser.
Pilsner.
Pilser.
Yeah, but so you're out there getting it, and Kevin, you're better at that than I am.
Oh, I do a lot of things with this tongue.
Ooh, easy. No, but it's something about life and noticing those experiences as they're happening and recognizing it and enjoying it, right? And that's important. That's important to notice those things and also be present within the moment
Yeah.
and have that as part of your life, because the past is always to be reflected on, right? Like, we should always reflect on our past. We don't live in it, but we can learn from it and reflect from it. And that's just kind of how it goes, right? And so if you can be part of the Not For Nothing Nation, and what that is Not For Nothing is actually to give it your all, even though it's a double negative and stuff. But you got to give it your all. And when you're giving it your all and you send it all the way, even if it might, create other people to be uncomfortable, but you're definitive within who you are, enjoying the hot dogs, living life, having fun, that's just important, So I had to at least just kind of echo that point slightly.
No, that's fair. I think it's if there's a year I've lived that, it is this year, and not because we touched on this a lot last time, 70 episodes ago, of like how I just at the time I was just fresh in my 30s. I'm 31, and how I thought life was going to be, kind of going downhill, and turns out it was the opposite. It's fantastic, and something I really wanted to do this year was to make sure I had been to Iceland since 2016. I missed my family. I wanted to go back there, and
it's a long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of the pandemic stuff obviously killed some hopes and dreams of going there any sooner, but we are here now. And kind of going back to my travel budget, if you will, when I go, I want to be able to experience what I want to experience. I don't want to have the thought of can we really afford this outside of something outrageous.
Yeah, that's a bummer feeling, isn't it?
It is. That sucks.
Like,
and of course, I'll point out that
I
I'm
do this stuff.
Yeah, and of course, let me be clear. Like, I'm privileged enough that I'm in a situation where I can have those moments of just being able to save up and go and ham out.
Yes.
But that was really important for me when I went on this trip with my cousin. I mean, it split in two ways. It was family for the first half, or it was family for the second half. But the first half was we're going to get in his car. That was going to be all souped up, and we're going to go. And we were going to go. We had a whole mission to make it all the way to Dettifoss, the world's largest, or the largest waterfall in Europe. You can see at the beginning of the movie Prometheus, where the big white alien man drinks that fluid and then dissolves in that. The waterfall in the background there is in Iceland. It's Dettifoss. I've always wanted to see it.
So Iceland is part of Europe?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is not part of the EU.
Yeah, because Iceland is the smaller one that's green.
Correct.
And Greenland is the big one that's white.
Yep. Snow-capped.
Yeah.
Snow-capped Greenland.
Yeah, it's interesting how that all works.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to keep that up here, just that mentality. Like, eventually I would like to make it to Kilimanjaro. I thought that would be always cool. I would still want to do some 14ers here coming up in the summer, even though the last one almost killed us. But whatever, you got to take those risks. It's fine.
Yeah, what 14 did you hit?
So I've hit 14 total.
Maybe just end it there, 14-14ers.
Right? I thought
pretty
about
epic.
that.
Just like 100% accuracy on an AR.
I mean, he's got a point. He's got a point. But what was the last one you said that challenged
What's
you?
the phrase? Oh yeah, isn't that the opposite of no nation? Not no nation nation.
It's not for nothing nation.
Not for nothing nation.
No, you got to full send it. You're right. You're right.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
It's the opposite clan of not for nothing nation.
It's
just quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, the all for nothing nation.
All for nothing nation. Yeah, just quit while you're ahead. I got the record. Who cares? We're done.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny. No, you should totally keep it up, man.
Keep sending it. So what happened on the last 14er that almost was a little alarming?
Well, we've I shouldn't say almost died. We've been in danger on 3 14ers, but we've learned from each one. But the last one was Wilson Peak, which is clear over by Telluride.
Okay.
It is the mountain on the Coors Light can.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. The shining peak right there. That's Wilson Peak. And Wilson Peak is a Class 3. Wasn't the most treacherous to get up, but we made it, and we summited. It was a beautiful day going up, but then we saw that the storm was running in. And you hear these nightmare stories all the time about...
I mean, that's scary. Like, what time of day was it? Because I feel like...
So that's this is one of those gray areas. We made it there. It was just before noon when we had summited. And you always feel that
you were up pretty early then.
Oh yeah,
you were at it. Yeah.
You have to be.
Oh god, yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't done any 14ers, a general rule of thumb is that you want to be on your way, if not off the peak, by noon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the reason is because of Colorado summer storms.
Mm-hmm.
It is very easy for you to get caught in a storm up there because they roll in quick, and the chance of getting struck by lightning is very high because you are on a very high point with no trees, and you're probably carrying a lot of metal on you.
Yeah, true.
I remember my very first 14er back in... Oh, God, this had to be like 2013 or something, or 2014, whatever. It was just Mount Bierstadt. Class 2, nice, easy, kind of go-to. Would have recommended it for your first one if you've ever done it. But we did it by the books. We were there. We got on the summit, and we were well on our way off by noon. The very next day, 2 people got hit by lightning.
Oh, jeez.
And they survived, but their dog did not.
Wow.
And it's just, it comes in so quick. And that's you have to be careful. And of course, this is biting like you've checked the weather. If a storm's coming in at 10 or it's just going to be rainy and shitty, you're still not going to go. And you have to be okay with just turning back.
Yeah.
And I've been caught in storms twice now. So sorry. Back to Wilson Peak. We had learned from our previous mistake, which I'll get onto in a second. But on Wilson Peak, we made it there and we saw the storm in the distance. But we were like, we should have enough time. We took some pictures, had a little bit of food.
Yeah.
And then we heard the rumble of the clouds kind of starting to come in.
Did that make your asshole pucker up?
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't
Okay.
it wasn't like that. Like I've heard worse. It wasn't that horrific crack like it's right there.
Yeah.
But we could hear the rumble starting to come. And on Wilson, it is a rather tedious climb back to get off the main... just like the main face of the mountain that's above tree line. And so we started, because you got to go just up and back around, or you got to go up, down, back around. You got to go down this crevasse, you got to get back up, and you're still like at relatively the same elevation. And before you start to trail off the side of the mountain, before you finally get back to kind of a ridge in between Mount Wilson and Wilson Peak, both 14ers. And then you can start to make your kind of casual hike down to tree line. While we were descending off, we could start to hear the hiss of the rocks, just the rubble beneath us starting to charge. You can just hear this like the electrical charge starting to build up on these rocks as the storm was coming in. Because that's what happened. Like
I've never experienced anything like that.
It was insane, and that part made us pucker up. That was like, we need to get the hell off right now.
Oh, dude, like when the ground around you is getting static.
Currents? That's pretty intense.
And you couldn't feel anything, but it's just like you could hear you could hear just like the faint, just between the moisture, the faint spacing of the rubble, you could hear it starting to ionize and just get this hiss. And I mean, that's the basics of lightning. You have charge from the ground starting to pile up. In the meantime, you have charge. Either way, you have a negative of charge in one area and a overabundance of charge in the other. And then eventually that potential gets so high that it breaks the voltage current or breaks the voltage barrier of air. That's how you get lightning.
The voltage barrier?
Well, so it's
dude, I know that. Look, I know, Dar, when you met me on the plane the first time, you knew that you were way smarter than me.
That is not true. But
okay, and that's okay because
voltage breakdown. That's what I was looking for.
The type of stuff that you're into. It's actually all pretty amazing, and the wealth of knowledge that you have and how you're describing this, like it's encapsulating.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
I mean, it certainly can encapsulate, the interest for more, because I'll tell you this.
Captivating. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so the rocks are charging.
And I'm a huge weather nerd. I love meteorology stuff. As everyone knows, I'm chief meteorologist of this program. Please continue.
But like, I'll Wikipedia this later. But I believe the electrical breakdown of air is about 3 times 10 to the 6th volts per meter. So you need, if you have a meter, you need 10 to the 6th, or 3 times 10 to the 6 volts for you to see a arc jump across that. Now a meter's pretty big, so that's a huge number. But like you bring that down, all of a sudden you need a lot less voltage, right? So you can get through with like 20,000 volts or something between an inch, and that's the basics of a taser. So if you hit it, you get 20,000 volts, even if it's just like a split second, you'll see an arc jump across that, right? Because it's breaking that potential where the air all of a sudden acts as like a connecting wire, and that's how you get that spark.
Okay.
Lightning is essentially the same thing on a colossal level, where you have a storm cell that's generating a lot of charge, and then the ground is going to react to it. You have a lot of charge in the air, so you have a lot of positive and negative, pretty much. So you have a lot of charge up here and a lack of charge on the ground because it's going to push away from it, or vice versa, right? Earth is going to push a lot of charge up to a lack of charge in the sky. It's dissipating somehow. Again, this is a little bit out of my wheelhouse how meteorology works, but one of the other, you get a huge potential, and then eventually you get a lightning strike. So we could just hear it, and so we scampered off. Anyways, there was no lightning strike. We were fine. It was just one of those moments where we could just hear it coming. And it was crazy. And by the time we got off, it started raining on us. And so we kind of kept moving. We were just kind of getting closer to tree line now. So we had music playing. We were soaked, but we were just having a good time, whatever. We're making our way down the mountain. And I took a picture of myself, just like a selfie, for fun memories. And then I looked at it later.
For fun memories,
right?
Of feeling the rocks around us starting to charge.
We thought we were out of danger. Life is fine. We were on our way down. But I looked at that picture later. And even in the soaking rain, you could see that my hair, thin strands of my hair, were standing up because they were still charged.
Wow.
From being up there, if not just from the overall, and that's a tall tale sign. You're about to get hit by lightning if your hair is charged up. That's just a tall tale sign. Yeah. So I saw it. And it wasn't super noticeable. Just a few strands. My hair was a little bit longer back then, but you could see it just standing up, and it was wow, that's definitely there's no wind. It's pouring rain out.
Yeah.
It was nuts. So it was kind of a wow. We got off in the nick of time.
Wow.
That was good stuff.
I mean,
it gets wild up there.
Yeah,
it gets wild up there. You said
risky.
So that wasn't Bierstadt. That was Wilson. You said
that was Wilson Peak.
Okay, that's where the chaos went full.
That's where the chaos went full. La Plata was one I did last summer, or sorry, 2 summers ago now. That one was La Plata's a class 2. It should have been easy. Instead, we went the back route, which is a class 3. We went through Ellingwood Ridge. It's called. I'll keep this one pretty brief. That one we started a little late. And moral of the story is that, or the short version is, it just took us so long to get through the ridge of the mountain. All we had to do the main difference was, instead of a clear trail up the mountain, the main trail to La Plata, Instead, we took the back door. We had to hike across the spine of the mountain to finally get to the peak, right? And so with that, you had to go across several, when I say several, it was like 8 ziggurats, like just little small peaks. And there was no clear way to get through it. So it was either, we had to go to the right. Oh, nope, that's just a cliff. Can't go that way. Circle back, go up, down. Nope, can't go that way. Maybe we have to go up. And we had to do that for each one. And it was just exhausting. It was around, now this was our bad, but luckily we're okay. I'm not advocating anyone do this, but it was around 1 p.m. and we were not even on the summit yet.
Yeah.
We were just approaching like the main face to get up. And 2 of us were thinking maybe we need to just slide down and get back to the valley and just abandon ship. And our 3rd member was adamant that we should keep going.
Yeah.
And so, because, he was like, no, we've made it this far. We're going up this goddamn mountain. We checked the weather reports. Didn't seem like anything crazy was coming in. So we pressed on. We summited around just shy of 4 p.m.
Oh, great.
At this point. Again,
That's
this was
a
not the
long
smartest.
day.
Yeah, this took us like 16 hours to do. It sucked. And the worst part is by the time we summited, the big danger was that we summited. On the way up, we thought we were going to hit by a storm. And that would have been a death sentence because there's no clear way off the mountain. You can slide down the scree, which is just like this giant like avalanche or not avalanche, just this big slope of rubble that most big mountains have. That you can just kind of like hop and slide and
You're going to get
hopefully
fucked
be
up
okay.
though doing that.
Oh yeah, you're going to get cut up, and that's assuming you don't get hit by a rock slide or something. If it's raining, like it's not a smart way to go
catches
down.
up behind you or something.
Yeah, something like there's just a dozen
Jesus.
different things that can go wrong with that.
It's high risk out there. Like whenever
is.
you're dealing with Mother Nature and you're going out into the wilderness, it's risky.
Yeah.
You have to really be prepared for a lot of things to go wrong, and hope that it doesn't.
And so we made it up, but this is where, and before like everyone hates on me because I know a lot of people are going to say, wow, you were an idiot. Yes, I admit, we learned a lot from La Plata. From Wilson Peak, yeah, but we knew what was coming and we got off in time. We were okay. With La Plata, yeah, there were some serious lessons learned because we got up there. Everyone had ran out of water at this point. We were all exhausted.
Jesus.
Not good. I had altitude sickness. I made the mistake of drinking a little bit the night before. It wasn't like hungover, but I had a few beers. Poor decision again. Like everything was stacked against us on this
perfect
tedious.
storm.
Oh, it was bad. So we got up there. We still had a beer, each of us, because we made it, and then we head back, and we could just go down the main trail, the Class 2 trail. But we still had to go all the way back. Our trail information was wrong.
Why didn't you take that trail up?
So the whole point was that we wanted to challenge ourselves to try and do Pyramid Peak, which is a Class 4.
Okay.
Which I still haven't done. But this was a good preparation trail. We just wanted to challenge ourselves to take the back door. We heard it was scenic.
You did mention that you took the back door.
Yeah. But then we were going to take the main door back home.
That makes sense.
But we underestimated like the lack of trail indicators that there were. A lot more discovering. So the amount of time it took us was abysmal. And overall, there was some bad information on all trails that I should have verified. It was several miles longer than we clocked it in at about just shy of 16 miles round trip hiking.
That's a
and
lot.
that was a lot more
That is a
than
lot.
what the trail mentioned.
What did it say?
The trail was like, it was like 9.5. It should be fine. No, what the hell are you talking about? What?
Oh, shit.
What? And what was weird is that, I'll finish the story. So, before we get to the reviews, we got all the way back down. At this point, we're just going in a trail. No one's talking. Everyone is not happy. Everyone had ran out of water. We're out of danger, but like we're all just trotting along. We finally made it back to the cars. It's dark. And I couldn't even drive. Like I needed a second to like just have some water that we thank God had in the coolers. Because I was definitely the worst. Like I was critically dehydrated. Seeing things in the shadows because it was already dark at this point. It was a mess. That one, we learned a lot. And the worst part is that all of our families or loved ones, once we got service, frantically called us because they were all about ready to call
They're all nervous.
They were ready to call the cops and be like, these guys disappeared into the woods.
Yeah.
Because there was no service at all.
Of course.
And so, oh man, it was a mess. The weird part is, yes, All Trails was like, it was a horrible hike up, really difficult. My dog died. 4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5.
He just gave us a very
dog died.
seemingly generous reviews. And I was like, why? This trail sucked ass.
Would not recommend.
Would not recommend. No, it was a garbage party. Even if you're trying to train for a class 4,
don't go there.
I mean, but
find other ways to train. That one sucked.
But if you could give it back and not do it,
there's the big question. Because
you would still do that shit.
Yeah,
you don't regret it. I
True.
can tell you that you don't regret it.
I learned a lot.
I can tell.
I got a cheap but reliable SATCOM receiver for my phone, so I can send out a ping in case there actually is. Because the only way that situation would have turned into a life-threatening one is if someone had an accident. Sure. Say someone broke their leg, we would have been in very serious trouble.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because how do you
sketchy?
How do you summons for help at that point? There's no service. It's a long way down. You're off the beaten path.
We're out of supplies.
Yeah.
Just the car, we were out of fun things to do at that point. If someone had, God forbid, broken their leg or even just any injury where it would have been difficult for them to walk, that would have turned into a really dangerous situation.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's scary.
So I learned a lot from that trip. I pack my supplies a lot more carefully now. The 2 survival things I carry with me now is a life straw, which comes in handy. Because usually if you're on a 14er, chances are you're going to run into a river somewhere. If you were just absolutely desperate for water.
Yeah.
Life straws are crucial.
Yeah.
You got the little carbon filter in it so you can just slurp it straight out of the
Exactly.
river.
Drink your own piss, whatever you want to do. But,
pull the Bear Grylls.
Yeah. And then I do carry a SATCOM receiver. I don't know if I really put that on the record as something I think is a must-have. I think as long as you're with people, it's all circumstantial. If you're on a 14er, generally speaking, you can get to a place where you have service of civilization one day. So it's just more of you can send someone. If you can send someone to get help, then that might be different.
Well, as long as they don't get hurt. Maybe you just have that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going solo.
If you're going solo, then I
Definitely.
think it's a must. Normally, you really want to have a party with you of some sort.
Yes, I always agree.
No, I agree with that. Have you ever seen that show, I Shouldn't Be Alive?
Yeah,
Some
I
of the
have.
stories that are behind that. I was watching one, man. This shit was crazy. This guy, I think it was overseas. He hiked this incredible mountain and ended up completely shattering his left leg. I mean, just destroyed. And had his dog with him, and he was so far out the beaten path. It's amazing. This story was absolutely incredible to me. He had to swim across rivers. He was walking on a leg that was completely fucked. That show is pretty fucking intense. But I think that kind of, piggybacking on what we're saying here, it's either go with somebody on these kind of adventures or have a beacon or something that could summons for a search and rescue.
Mm-hmm. You need to be ready. You have to have the bare minimum stuff for that. And it's so, I mean, and it's not that uncommon. I had an intern once, this was 6-7 years ago, I think, that was a solo, a more experienced than I am, but a solo alpine climber in the winter. And he did a solo venture, and I don't know if he was ice climbing or how much of it was rock climbing versus actually hiking, but I believe he was an avid rock climber, and this was in the wintertime. He went up, and unfortunately he lost his footing, had a rock slide, and fell down. And
Jesus.
He went missing, but for a couple days. Search and rescue did go after him, and they found him. And the reason he survived is he had all the necessary. He didn't have a locator beacon, but he had an emergency blanket. He had supplies to dig himself out, and then he was able to. Basically, what happened is he built him, I should say this straight to the camera. Knowledge is the most important resource for survival. And that's what I've gained from all this. I've learned some stuff and apply it. Knowledge is key. So he did exactly the right thing. He broke his elbow.
Yeah.
He was able to dig himself a snow cave or just a snow tunnel. He had an emergency blanket. He was able to weather out the night safely. And then the next day he was able to still he had enough emergency provisions. He was able to make it back down to civilization until eventually flagged down a jogger and was able to get get some medical assistance. And so, you know,
that's
it's
crazy.
like that preparation, whatever it means. You want a beacon, fine. You want a blanket, fine. Just like have a plan. If you're going to do stuff like this, 14er or rock climbing, anything like that, because you never know. Even on something a class 1 like Elbert, who knows? It's still a long. There's no
It is.
easy 14er. It sucks. Like you're gonna,
Yeah.
you know, it's a big journey, and just if you're not ready, you never know what could happen. And even on something as simple as like a trail that you walk from start to finish up to the summit, you never know what's going to happen.
No,
You really
very true.
don't.
And you know, I think made famous. I don't know who said it exactly, but the quote: "Preparation is the key to battle." Right. So the more prepared you can be, the better off you are. But I think to piggyback on what you're saying with survival, you know, I learned this so much from Bear Grylls and Mike Hawk, who we were going to have on this program. Our schedules didn't quite align, but the biggest thing that these guys talk about is mental toughness.
Mm-hmm.
So much of survival out there is mental toughness, because if you start to get discouraged, you're like, I'm going to fucking die on this hill.
You're probably going
to die on that hill. That mental toughness is, I'm going to get off this hill no matter what it takes. I'm
Right.
going to get back to civilization. That mental piece is so crucial to the art of survival.
Absolutely. That was a key coming from the interview of I forgot his name, the guy from 127 Hours classic
dude.
movie.
Yeah. With that slice his arm off.
Yeah,
get out.
exactly.
Oh, that's intense.
I think he lives in Boulder now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. He's somewhere in Colorado.
We should try to get him on.
Should, that'd be kind of cool. We should. Like, now I'm just a host as well. Just sit in the corner, a little stool.
No, help us out in the background.
Yeah.
Like
You cue cards.
I could tell you're a good seller. Like you could help us get epic guests.
I'll do what I can.
That's a solid lad move.
But he talks about that. I mean, this is in the epilogue of the movie, that like he had his premonition of having a son.
Yep.
And like a family, and it's what drove him to the finish line of like, I'm going to get off this mount. I'm going to get out of this ridge, and just anything like that. And that's
Incredible story.
Yeah,
It
very
really-
very cool.
It's intense. Like the hallucinations that he was having. Like he had like just a little bit of water left in his Nalgene. You know, he's like he was just savoring it, because I think it was 4 or 5 days. I mean, 127 hours. What is that? 4.5 days? 5 days?
27 hours.
You got 48, 72, 96. That's 4. It was approaching 5 days.
About 5 days, yeah.
And finally, he's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And he fucking slices his arm off. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, incredible. Slicing through the bone with like a Swiss Army knife, right?
The movie does such a gruesome job of showing him trying to get through the tendon. It was like I wince when I look at that.
Jesus.
Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
It's intense.
Did I see that? That's not the one where the dude is like in a bus and stuff.
No, he's
Okay.
James Franco.
James Franco. He's bicycling in Utah, and ends up falling into this. I don't know if it was a ravine or a crevasse.
No, I didn't see it. I know the movie. I know which one
true
it is.
story.
I know the story,
Right.
but I never saw the movie.
He's mountain biking in Moab, and he falls into a small crevasse, but it's the boulder that pins his arm
Yeah, because
that
it falls
causes
in,
all,
and his arm gets pinched underneath it, and he's stuck there for days.
Yeah,
with
fuck
nothing.
that.
Like his cell phone dies.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of water left. Like, because I think what I remember the most about that movie is when he finally frees his arm, he finds water. There's like a little pond or something, and he just puts his face. in it
Oh,
and
that's right.
starts
It's like
slurping it up.
mosquito
Yeah,
covered,
yeah,
dirty.
shitty.
Oh, he does not care. It's like,
He's like, I need water now.
Jesus.
But
yeah,
he got-
you
but
really
he got
don't.
out.
You really don't. There were times when I was walking down like La Plata, just again, not to compare myself to James Franco. I'm sad that I want to pull up his name. Somebody's got the go-to on it, just because I feel bad that I'm calling him the 127-hour guy.
But he would actually probably feel really good about that. He's like, damn right I did that.
Yeah.
He's like, I am the 127-hour guy.
But when I was walking down, like, I was so thirsty. The fun celebration beer had already worn off. Everyone had run out of water, and we still had miles to go. And luckily, we're out of danger. We're just hiking down. At this point, we're just trotting in a line on a trail. But god damn it, I was so thirsty and exhausted, and I could just hear the rushing water below me, like in a nice river. And there was so much of me that just wanted to just dive down there, Be like, I could just go and get a sip of water. I'll be fine. But it wasn't worth it. You risk
risking
getting
Giardia.
sick. You risking Giardia. That's why that's where I got the life straw idea. Where I was like, that was the
That's a
moment.
good
Like,
move.
just
I
in
need that.
case
That's a good move.
something like that happens.
You get Giardia up in the mountains when you're in a survival situation and you're diarrhea and vomiting. I mean, your situation
That's
just
risk.
got a whole
Yeah.
lot worse.
Right.
But so his name is Aaron Ralston.
Aaron Ralston.
Yep.
Well, Aaron, thank you for the inspiration, Aaron. I mean, what a survivor. It's so cool to hear these stories, Dar, and like all these things that you've been doing. Time flies, as we all know, and there is a question that we've asked you in the past, and we have to ask you again because it's been 70 episodes.
Oh no!
So
I know this question.
So Kev, Kev, you take it.
It's always interesting when we ask a repeat guest the same question, but it's the discussion combustion way. You know what we didn't do on 200 to Live is we didn't ask John this question, but it was a unique one-off. But
yeah.
Dar, as you know, we like to ask people, right? If you could offer one piece of advice that could better humanity tomorrow, what do you think that would be?
I thought about this while I was in the car. I was like, I bet they're going to ask me this again. All right.
Did.
All right. I thought about this, and last time I deflected the question. This time, I'm taking it head on.
I like that.
I think that there has been so much change in 70 episodes in this last year, and I think it's fair to say that it's not desperate times, but people are surviving, others are not. I think it's fair to say that times are uncertain at the moment, and the world is ever changing. We went through NFTs, the rise and fall, about 70 episodes.
Super
We've
quick.
seen rockets go. We're getting to that. Oh, we didn't talk about the rockets. That doesn't matter now. I think that it's important. I think that right now, more than ever, while taking care of yourself is important, and number one comes first. You got to take care of your responsibilities. Now is the time to offer people a sense of community. So, just as a very basic example, if you got a guy that's struggling to lose weight and he's just complained about wanting to lose weight, you're a guy that goes to the gym. Invite him to the gym. Don't force him to go to the gym. Don't chastise him for not taking you up on your offer. But any opportunity you have to foster a community and a sense of growth, I think now is important, because then they get a chance to survive too. Maybe they're not doing as well as you are, and that can go to anything, whether it's that sense of compassion and kinship, whether it is a homeless person or your best friend. And when things get a little bit scary in the world, I think a lot of times our hostility starts to show, our annoyances start to get out. And I'm guilty of this too. I got chastised, or not chastised. I got scolded by one of my friends, rightfully, over a homeless person that minorly inconvenienced my day, and I was all upset about how they're the scum of the earth. And the reality is that they are still a person with feelings. They are down on their luck. They might have situation or various situations going on, and you don't have to fix all of it, but you can still help contribute to a sense of community. You decide what that is. Just running with the homeless thing, whether it's give them $5 or offer them a ride, I don't know. I don't care. Now more than ever, I think just offering a sense of kinship and community without forcing it on anyone or requiring it is a something that has gone well for me, and so I feel like that's something that, we'd go on that, and also prepare for 14ers properly. Go on Reddit. Reddit is a great resource. I would absolutely recommend that.
r/14ers?
Yes, at the very same.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. I shit you not.
I'm not a Reddit guy, but that was
it's
my
all good.
guess.
Literally that, r/14ers.
Wow.
The number 14, ERS.
ERS. ERS.
Mm-hmm.
No, great advice, though, because the more that we can do to create a sense of community around everyday interactions, right?
Right.
We're all in a society. Well, this is, people probably listen all over the place, so we all interact with people daily, I would like to think. And if we have the opportunity to create, even if it's just a small interaction, a small sense of, hey, we're in the same store together right now, and we're both having fun shopping, and it's just like, you're not necessarily trying to make friends, you're not, trying to hit on anybody, you're just like, isn't this fun? Like, this is a community of where we're at now.
Right.
And kind of embracing that thought process and seeing how you could help influence by, you almost have to have a sense of, like, you have to have a friendliness about you that's authentic to be able to do that. Like, you can't, like, give community to everybody around you when you have no, like, unity within yourself.
Yeah.
So to be able to give the feeling of being part of a community, and
Or just offering it, giving them the chance, right?
Yeah, giving people a chance, but it's like you almost have to be somewhat self-centered within yourself to even have the courage to offer that to somebody, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting, and it's great advice for humanity, because it really, if you start breaking it down, there's a lot of layers to it.
I mean, it's I think something that's very transparent these days is, especially if you spend a good amount of time around someone, is being able to identify those that purely do things for their self-interests. Mm-hmm. They only hang around with a chick because they want to date them or just bone them, right? They don't want to hang out with you so you can get them the drugs you want or the plug you want for that thing you like, regardless of what it is. I personally think that it's in this day and age, it's easier to see people like that, and it's not a good feeling to be that guy or for others to think you're that guy.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to just it's not just about being friendly with everyone. It's just giving them a chance, right? You don't have to fix their problems. You just, I say that a lot. I say the word, a lot. Someone do a
know what I'm saying?
So do I.
Yeah, someone in the audience do a counter on that. I'm guessing I'm at 64.
64 you knows?
Huh?
64 you knows?
I think so. Well, maybe that's a lot.
Hashtag how many you knows did Dar say?
Excuse me. But yeah, Art, it's not an easy thing to do. It's just something that I feel like has been helpful to me. It's just rebuilding, especially after COVID times, because I think we only got about 6 more months left before we can stop using the phrase, 65, using the phrase in this time after COVID, that we're still in the process of rebuilding communities, rebuilding the same kind of level of socialization that we had.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're opening up a whole Pandora's box. Kev, what are your thoughts on community and the advice for humanity?
Well, it's important. I think it's important. I think the vetting process that you just alluded to kind of speaks volume to it, right? I mean, you at the end of the day, we want to be nice to everybody. You don't know what people are dealing with, whether they're homeless, whether they're wealthy. It doesn't matter. Everybody's dealing with something. So it really comes back down to the respect and just kind of treating everybody equally, right? Everyone's our equal. Everyone's our peer. No one's better. No one's less. Mm-hmm. I think that's a big mission that we try to drive across home here at this program. So I think, to your point, that's a good piece of advice for humanity. And yeah, look, a lot of businesses have suffered from COVID. We're post-pandemic, still in the pandemic. I don't know what pandemic it is, but that's a whole nother topic for another time.
For sure.
You know, we're moving. I think the point is we're moving the needle forward, and we got to figure out how we can continue to move forward, right, and continue to evolve, develop, innovate, right. Things are changing. Times are different. People are down and out. You know, social media. We've hit on that a few times. There's a lot of things coming at us at a very rapid pace, and so I think that
and it's not going to stop either.
It isn't.
Like this is it. This is the motto. Things are going to change. Another 70 episodes. I've stopped even trying to guess what things are going to be like another 70 episodes from now. I don't even know what I'm going to have for breakfast tomorrow. Like
I'm not even going to have breakfast.
it's so it just you got to keep up with that pace. And personally, I found it easier to not have to do it alone. Right?
Yeah, just like the 14ers, have a good team with you.
Yeah.
I wish there was something I could plug right now that like is something that helps connect people in like a friendship level and to find good friends, because I feel so fortunate and blessed to have the great friends and partners I do in life, and to be able to meet you while I was going to see my dad in Seattle too was really awesome, Dar.
For sure.
I mean, you know, a playing relationship. Kevin's co-host on Mash the Gas, which is
Airplane,
yeah, that's so awesome. All that. And it's cool that we've stayed in touch, man. And you're in the wheelhouse. You already know this. We're keeping you in the loop. You're gonna be back on again, and it's such an honor to be able to have you as a part of this discussion combustion, the movement that we do here, and appreciate you being open, honest, and upfront about here, because I could tell that you don't hold it back, you know, and you probably do that all the time, and that's part of that full send. That's part of that not for nothing nation type of mentality, and we're breaking in 201 new studio.
201.
You were here for this.
201.
It was awesome, man.
This
Feels
was pretty
good.
cool.
I'm just looking around right now, kind of taking it in. It's a good vibe.
It's a little different than what we've been doing.
For sure. In the midst of all the craziness, I gotta admit, it's nice to have a moment. It's ironic because it's like it's going to be broadcasted out, yet I feel quite grounded, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be back.
We're going to continue
yeah.
this conversation once the record button is slapped again.
Yes, we've all had a couple cold Bud Lights. Thank you again, Bud Light.
Anheuser-Busch.
And so that's,
appreciate it.
of course, going to yield a couple bathroom visits. But what we're going to close with is this. Dar, where do the people need to go to get in touch with you? Anything you want to plug, anything you want to drive to your channel, where do the people need to find you?
As of right now, I'm a bit of a recluse. I'm on the edge of finishing my master's degree. I'm
Excellent.
graduating in May, and I really have taken a step back from doing anything crazy social media. I still do Coco Madar, and while I wish I could plug that, it's on my private Instagram right now, and I would like to move that to just a
channel for that.
I was thinking a channel, or really, I hate to say it, we'll see how the legal route goes, but a TikTok would be the ideal route if we ignore all the Chinese privacy issues and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But that hasn't been done yet. I will plug my Twitch channel, Mr. Whisper, at Twitch. That's it, Mr. Whisper, MR Whisper. You'll find it. It's not that hard. But I haven't been live again. That's something I want to boot back up once I graduate. So unfortunately for the audience, I guess the only one that I'll plug would be my Snapchat at Dr. Professor Dr. Darius. All one word. Simple, easy.
Doctor, Professor.
DRPROF Darius.
Okay.
Simple. Yeah, simple, right? Easy. I'm sure anyone who listened to this in their car is just like going to sketch it down real quick on this. Yeah, I enjoy talking with you guys. I really do. But this has just been one of the sacrifices. Been working full time. And still, working with my family and also and my master's degree. Like, just it's just a lot, man.
A lot of irons in the fire, man.
A lot. It really is, and that's a big lesson I've learned at the end of this is just like learning which irons to put in. Right now, those are my irons. So I really have no.
Which irons are you gonna mold? Because that's the question. You got a lot of irons in the fire. Which ones deserve the hammer?
Right.
Like,
well, right now
let's hammer this motherfucker.
Yeah, getting that master's degree.
I don't know. I'm excited about you, man. I'm excited.
I would like to get the master's degree, graduate that. It'll be pertinent to my work and stuff, so I'm pleased about that. I'm still involved in the same options trading that we talked about. That's the plug. I'm so sorry. I forgot about it. I talked about Real Time Options Academy last time. It is now moved to newphoenix.com. We are still in the process of getting all the chickens, getting all the ducks in the row. But the site is operational, newphoenix.com. That's nuphoenix.com. Just a trading brokerage platform that I still use and partner with. Very good teams if you want to learn about options trading, both from just a way to profit and also for an academic value, all sorts of good stuff. Same thing I kind of plugged last time. That was called Real Time Options Academy. Now it's New Phoenix. And I think that's all I got,
You
man.
said you had nothing.
Well, there it is. It took a second.
We just had to kind of peel back that layer a little bit and see what was in there.
Well, yeah, because I thought as we were talking, I was like, I'm not doing anything that like I'm personally promoting. I'm not. I'm busy as shit, guys. Like,
I know that feeling.
Getting the chickens to hatch, I wanted to say.
Right.
Instead of getting the ducks in a row.
Yeah.
chickens
Oh
to
yeah,
hatch.
I'm also
Yeah.
getting chickens this summer. I got to deal with that too. Like,
Oh,
That sounds like
fantastic.
another
need those
great
eggs,
topic.
man. Yeah.
So when you come back in 70 episodes, we can talk about them eggs.
Absolutely. I'll get us a fresh rack. It's gonna be delicious.
I love a fresh rack.
And let's cook them Gordon Ramsay style. And on that note, guys, it's such a pleasure to be here. Thanks for following our journey here on Discussion Combustion. We may or may not be dropping an After Dark series soon
On Patreon.
on Patreon and OnlyFans potentially.
There's
Potentially.
There's conversations happening. We're not going to get too deep into that right now. It's very early, but
Yes.
what we can say is this: we appreciate your continued support here at Discussion Combustion Podcast. We've entered the 200 series. What a great way to bring it in with Dar. Thanks, brother, for being here. Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys. This was a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Everybody out there, you know what the deal is, and we mean it with authenticity. Please be good to yourselves.
You deserve it.